So as far as what I want to share today, it has to do with these feelings come rushing up. We try to make sense or bring a meaning to these feelings. The feelings stem from this metaphysical root that has no concern for the conditions of time. So it is not concerned with the concerns of time. It is quite literally timeless. It is not conditioned by time, so since it's not conditioned by time, it doesn't have any concerns of time. Yet once we have a feeling, spontaneously the concerns of time come in, but not necessarily right at that point. The concerns of time don't happen until after we develop some value evaluations and behaviors and experience, all in time. But what I find very interesting is that these feelings then attach themselves to these roles. I think of the judge that wears a robe. The robe is to show that they are the judge, and this is the role they are playing. So all of their feelings then have to channel themselves through this role of being a judge. And I find this very interesting because many of the judges try to be impartial. You know, there's this impartiality that they talk about. However, they're still every bit as human, and everything that they feel while they're in the robe is channeled through that. And if they try to disassociate themselves from their feelings, they become quite inhuman and rather impersonal, and the concerns of time fall away. And you could actually be saying, I could actually see them as not conditioned by the concerns of time, and since they're not conditioned by the concerns of time, they're not interested in the human experience. They're actually separating themselves from the human experience of that which lives and grows and changes. The judge may be said to be an archetype in the Jungian term, that which is eternal. And so this eternity in which it resides is not conditioned by time, which I find very, very interesting. Even the Supreme Court says, oh, we will only deal with this, we're not going to deal with that. And there's all these conditions they put on it, but actually what they're trying to do is stay away from being a human being. And they're not even aware that they're doing this stuff. And simultaneously, at the same time, they're pouring forth all these feelings, which are the living and growing aspect of life, through channeling it through being that costumed role. Which, you know, I was watching some television show, and one of the I think it's the show Smash. I don't like it. I'm not into musicals. I think it was this show, but it could have been some other show. I don't know. But the whole point to actors is that they take these raw feelings and then they channel them through. And they have to be a conduit for these feelings, these raw feelings, and then channel them into the role that they're playing in it. And they learn this skill to channel their feelings into this specific role. And, you know, the ones that do it well can organize their feelings well into a very ordered, regimented form. Particularly that which the director is demanding of them. You know, they're seen as good actors, you know. But to me, it just seems like enslavement. They're just enslaving themselves over and over and over in all these different ways, just all these roles we play. And I understand the idea that if you just let your feelings go and you do whatever you feel, it's hedonistic and chaotic. There can be a tremendous amount of a disorder that arises. So I respect that we want to bring order. I respect that the eternal character or the archetype of the judge is there to bring order out of the chaos, and same thing with an economist or a politician, or an actor, or whatever role. I get it. However, I just see this mania that's going on, and I think a lot of other people see this mania that's going on as well, and they try to enslave themselves that much more, enslave their feelings, and yet at the same time, if you never exercise a muscle group, that muscle group will atrophy, and when you go and try to use it, it won't have the strength or the skill in technique to accomplish what you want. It takes time, and the concerns of time, so to say. Well, I've run into a lot of people who they don't deal with a lot of their feelings, and so when the feelings come up, they are just haphazard and chaotic and over the top. I could be put into a situation where I have over the top expression too. Any of us can. I can imagine being thrust onto a stage and told to portray a character, and the director says, "Okay, I want you to be really angry and upset," and I behave in such a way that, because I don't have the skill and technique and how to really give this character a well-developed form, it just seems like somebody who's never acted before, there's all this skill involved. There's all this experience that's necessary, which are all rooted in time and the concerns of time. See, the concerns of time are what inform a well-developed character. But these concerns of time that create a well-developed character tap into these eternal forms. But these eternal forms are truly not concerned with what goes on with the living, growing, and changing. They are as if uninformed of the tragedy and the comedy experienced in time. It could also be seen that these eternal forms, these archetypes, are dumb to what it is to experience time.